Carbon. What is the atomic number of carbon?
Atomic number of carbon is 6.
Very good. What is the electronic configuration?
2 and 4.
4.
4. Very good. So now we know that it is equally easy for carbon to gain 4 electrons and it is equally easy for carbon to lose those 4 electrons. So how does it form a bond and how will it form a bond with other elements, right? We don't know that. So now can you guys tell me? So there are basically two types of bonds, okay? One is the ionic bond, which we just studied. The second type of bond is called covalent bond, okay? Now, what is the meaning of co? In English, in general English, what is the meaning of co? Like cohabitat or coexist?
Sharing of electrons.
Sharing of electrons. Excellent. So co means basically to share. If I say cohabitat, meaning a habitat or a living space that is being shared by multiple people. If I say coexist, that means sharing the existence with other people. Okay, that is what is meaning of coexist, cohabitat. So basically the word co meaning sharing. Okay, so when I say covalent, meaning the valence electrons are being shared. That is why it is called covalent bond. Remember, ionic bond is due to transfer of electrons. Covalent bond is due to sharing of electrons. Okay. Covalent bond, sharing. Ionic bond.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, what is difference between sharing and transferring?
I will tell you. So let's take a look at an example over here. Let's say I have carbon. Okay. We know carbon has atomic number 6. The electronic configuration is 2, 4. It can, yeah. So I'll just draw these 4 dots. This is the valence electrons of carbon. I'll just represent them as dots. Now, in order for me to, I have to somehow get carbon 8 electrons in the outermost shell. It already has 4. I need to get 4 more electrons for the outermost shell. So what do? I look for another element which has, which requires or which can give, which has 1 electron. So over here, let me take hydrogen. Hydrogen has 1, electronic configuration is 1. So hydrogen requires 1 more electron. So I'll just put hydrogen over here, hydrogen over here, hydrogen over here, and hydrogen over here. Now, I know that hydrogen requires 1 more electron to get the duplet rule. So what they will do, this carbon will share 4 of its electrons, or this carbon will share 1 of its electrons with this hydrogen atom, and that hydrogen atom will share its 1 electron with carbon. Similarly, the sharing will happen between these two, sharing will happen between these two and these two. Now carbon ends, after sharing, carbon has 8 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hydrogen has 1, 2, this hydrogen has 1, 2, this hydrogen has 1, 2, and this hydrogen has 1, 2. Now all hydrogens have 2 electrons and all carbons have 8 electrons. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? Why? What is the difference between ionic and ionic bond and covalent bond?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right, no problem. So what I'm saying is, in case of NaCl, okay, Na, let me just draw Cl minus. Okay, so I have Cl, no, I'll just draw Cl. Okay, so chlorine has 1 electron. Na does not need this electron. It just wants to get rid of that electron completely. So it just transfers this electron to chlorine. Okay. And then Na plus has no electrons. Cl minus has 8 electrons. Now, because these are oppositely charged, what happens whenever I have particles, or even in magnets, when I have 2 opposite charges, they will attract each other. If I have 2 like charges, they will repel each other. Okay, opposite charges attract, like charges repel. Now, because this is positively charged and this is negatively charged, they will attract each other and a bond is formed. Okay, over here, what is happening? Hydrogen wants its one it wants its one electron. All these hydrogens, they want their one electron. They can't give it away. They want it. So they keep it by sharing their electron with one of the electrons of carbon. Similarly, this hydrogen also keeps its electron, but it shares it with carbon. They are not losing that electron. Like sodium lost its electron completely, whereas hydrogen is not losing it. It is just sharing. Similarly, carbon is not losing its 4 electrons. It is just sharing with 4 different hydrogen atoms. And by that sharing, what happens? It forms bonds. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, instead of hydrogen, can there be any other element?
Yeah, there can be any other element. For example, let us say what chlorine. Yeah, let's take chlorine. Can we take chlorine? Yeah, we can take chlorine. All right, so let's take chlorine. So chlorine has atomic number 17. So 287. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this and I'll put chlorine over here. Okay. So chlorine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chlorine requires 1 more electron, and this carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 already, and then 7th of its own. It requires 1 more. So these two will exchange, and now chlorine has 8 electrons. This carbon has 8 electrons. Hydrogen has 2 electrons. This hydrogen has 2 electrons. This hydrogen has 2. Is this clear?
No, ma'am, it is not clear for me.
Okay. Was the previous clear where I used only hydrogens? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Arnav, is this clear to you with chlorine? Or should...
No, ma'am.
Okay, that's fine. I'll explain it once more. All right. So carbon has 4 electrons in the outermost. Now it has 4 electrons in the outermost shell. It requires 4 more electrons. So what I'll do, I know that chlorine requires 1 more electron. Okay, so I'll just put chlorine over here. And I know chlorine has 7 electrons. So 1 out of these 7 electrons, chlorine is going to share with carbon. How many electrons does chlorine have? No, it is sharing with carbon. So it is also getting this electron from carbon.
So the chlorine will have 8, and
Yes.
carbon atom with that particular will have 2 electrons.
So right now, chlorine has 8 electrons. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah. So carbon now is sharing that 1 electron from chlorine, right? So because of its own 4 electrons plus that 1 electron from chlorine, carbon has 5 electrons. Now I want carbon to have how many? 8 electrons. So that means 3 electrons are missing. I need to get 3 more electrons. So what will I do? I'll put hydrogen over here, or I can put 1 more chlorine. It doesn't matter. I can put chlorine also. Instead of hydrogen, I can put chlorine also over here. Okay, so I'll just put 1 more chlorine here. Here also I can put either hydrogen or chlorine. It doesn't matter. So chlorine. So now carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons, and all the chlorines have 8 electrons. Is this clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Arnav,
Thank
is
you,
it
ma'am.
clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. If you have doubts, if you want me to explain again, please tell me. I have no problems explaining it again. Okay, so I want to make sure everybody has understood. Has everyone understood? Please answer the poll. Funny, I'm waiting for your response. Okay, cool. So now this can be written Cl, 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 Cl. And this is called, like this entire molecule is called, or compound is called, carbon tetrachloride. Carbon tetrachloride. Why is it called tetrachloride? Because there are 4 chlorine atoms. Okay. So because there are, tetra means 4. Okay. So 4 chlorine atoms. That is why carbon tetrachloride. Okay. And if I replace this chlorine atoms with hydrogens, then what will it be called? It will not be called carbon tetrachloride. hydride or anything like that. It is going to be called as methane. Okay, so you guys would have heard of methane gas. This is
CH4.
yes, CH4. So this is the structure of methane. Okay. Now, this is a single bond. All of these, whenever you have like sharing of one electrons from each of the elements, then it forms a single bond. Okay. I guess one of the features of covalent bond is that it can not only have one bond, it can have more than one bonds. Now so this is called as a single bond. Okay, so this is single bond, single covalent bond. Now let us look at an example of double covalent bond. Okay. So for that, so we are still talking about covalent bonds, that hasn't changed. Okay. So now let's talk about double covalent bond. Okay. Now, how does this happen? Double covalent bond. Okay. So I have carbon. Let's take carbon again. So carbon has 4 electrons in the valence shell. So instead of writing these 4 electrons like this, I'm going to write it as like this. I think I'm just rearranging the electrons. Okay. Also, one more thing that you guys need to know: whenever you represent an electron with, an atom with its valence electrons like dots like this is called as a Lewis structure. So the first scientist to come up with this kind of method of representing valence electrons was Lewis. So it's named after him. So this is called as a Lewis dot structure. So if I tell you to draw the Lewis dot structure of carbon, then this is what you will draw: carbon with 4 dots. You can either draw this or this. It doesn't matter. As long as you have 4 dots around the carbon atom, that is what is important. Okay. Now let us look at how we get a double bond. So let's say I have one carbon atom over here and I have another carbon atom over here. So now I have 2 carbon atoms. I'm going to call this as the first carbon atom and I'm going to call this as the second carbon atom. So I know each of these carbon atoms requires 8 electrons to comply with the octet rule. So what happens? This carbon will share its electrons from this carbon. Okay. So these 2 carbons will share their electrons like this. Okay. And then this carbon will have 1 electron and 1 electron extra, and then 1 electron and 1 electron. And now each of these carbons has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because of sharing, now this carbon has 6 electrons. Similarly, even this carbon has 6 electrons. Is this clear to everyone so far? So a question over here that has come up from Nandini is this only for carbon? As of now, I'm only teaching you carbon, but covalent bonds can exist even between oxygen and hydrogen. It can happen between other elements also. Okay, but right now, for the ease of our understanding, we are only looking at carbon. Okay. No, Satvika, covalent bonds can happen even between other elements. I mean, other elements as well. Right. So now let's take a look at this. 8:30. I'll continue with the class until 8:40 because I was late. So I'll continue the class till 8:40. Is that okay with everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Now what happens? Both of these carbon have 6 electrons. Now what I'll do is I'll put 1 hydrogen. Or I can even put chlorine. It doesn't matter. Okay. So now how many the first carbon has how many electrons now?
8.
Very good. 8. Yes. Oh, okay. So the Lewis dot structure can be applied not only to carbon, any atom where if you represent the valence electrons with dots, it is called as a Lewis dot structure. Okay. It is not only for carbon, it is for any element. All right. So the first carbon has 8 electrons. The second carbon right now only has 6 electrons. So what do? I get in 2 more hydrogens. 1 over here and 1 over here. And that I end up getting C double bond C, H, 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 H. Okay, so what is this called? C2H4 is called ethene. So this is the structure for ethene. Okay. So now, hold on one second. So is this clear to everyone?
The structure is not clear.
Structure is not clear. Oh, see, between the first carbon and the second carbon, you have this one bond. Okay, what is a bond pair? Bond pair and lone pair. Okay, these two things also, let's do that as well. So bond pair is whenever I have a pair of electrons being shared between two atoms, that is called as a bond pair. Two electrons being shared. For example, between this hydrogen and this first carbon, I have these two electrons being shared. So this is a bond pair. Okay, this is a bond pair. This is a bond pair. This is a bond pair. And these two, this is also a bond pair. And these two are also a bond pair. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, each bond pair I have represented with a line. That is why I have C double bond C. Where does lone pair come in? Okay, let's look at lone pairs. So if I have carbon and let's say we looked at the structure for carbon tetrachloride, right? So carbon tetrachloride was 1, 2, 3, 4, chlorine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a bond pair, and these are lone pairs. Lone pairs meaning they are alone. They are not forming any bond. They are just pair of electrons, two electrons that are not forming any bonds. So that is why they are called lone pairs. All of you understand what bond pairs and lone pairs are?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, cool. So Arnav, did you understand the double bond, or do you want me to explain that one more time?
I understood it.
Okay. Who else? Shubham. Did you understand, Shubham?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Nandini, did you understand? Satvika, did you understand? Okay, now let us look at what if I arranged the 3 electrons around the carbon like this, or the 4 electrons around the carbon like this. I take one more carbon and I do the same thing. So this is the first carbon, this is the second carbon. Now what happens? This forms a bond pair. This forms a bond pair. Then this forms a bond pair. So now how many electrons does the first carbon have after sharing?
7 electrons.
7 electrons. Satvika, did you understand how 7 electrons? Okay, cool. What about the second carbon? How many electrons does it have after
7.
sharing? 7 electrons. Very good. Now what it needs to have 8. So I'll bring in one hydrogen. Now this forms another bond. Both these carbons have 8 electrons. Hydrogen also has 2 electrons. The octet rule and the duplet rule is being satisfied. Yeah. So how will I write this in terms of bond? I'm just going to draw 2 carbon atoms. This first bond pair, I'm just going to draw one line. Second bond pair, going to draw one more line. Third bond pair, one more line. Hydrogen, hydrogen. And this is called a triple covalent bond. Okay. And this element is called this compound is C2H2 and it is called as ethine. Okay, now remember that in the last thing we did double bond. Whenever we have carbon double bond, we have 4 hydrogens, right? We saw carbon double bond, 4 hydrogens. So this was C2H4. This was ethene. Between these two names, can you tell me what is common?
ETH.
Very good. Yes, ETH is common to both of these things. So what does ETH mean? Any guesses?
2. Carbon have
2 what?
2 bonds, ma'am.
But there are 3 bonds in the triple covalent bond.
I think it means two
Good, yes. Eth means 2 carbon atoms. Is that clear?
Ma'am, is this Latin
Yes.
related?
Yes, Shubham, what is your question?
Ma'am, I was asking that is ETH related to Latin or something?
Oh, actually, I don't know if it is. I think so, maybe. I'll have to find out and I'll tell you, okay? Right, so ETH means 2 carbons, okay? And METH meaning 1 carbon. Yes, that is why CH4 is called methane. Now, can you guys tell me this over here? Ane, ene, ine. What are these things? What is ane, ene,
It is,
ine?
ma'am, it depends on the type of covalent bond.
Yes. So ane meaning single bond, 1 bond, ene meaning double bond, ine meaning triple bond. That is why when I have triple bond between carbon and carbon, it is called as ethine. If I have double bond between carbon and carbon, it is called ethene. If I have all of these are single bonds, and that is why it is called methane. Is this clear to everyone?
Ma'am.
Okay, so for the next class, I want you to tell me, is it possible for me to get methane and methane? Okay, what is the structure of methane and methane? Okay, can you guys tell me in the next class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good.
Ma'am, there is also a structure of methane and methane.
You tell me, is there a structure of methane and methane?
I guess no, ma'am.
Why not?
Is it not clear, ma'am?
What?
Is it not clear, ma'am?
It's not clear.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so okay, let's look at that. So meth means how many carbons?
1 carbon.
Carbon.
Methene and methine. Meth meaning 1 carbon, ene meaning how many bonds?
2.
Double bond. Meth meaning 1 carbon, ine meaning how many bonds?
3.
Okay. So with 1 carbon, is it possible for me to get 2 bonds?
Yes, ma'am.
How?
We can get with hydrogen, but then the total will be 6.
Okay, so if I
Six.
put hydrogen over here, then this will be hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. I'm still getting CH4. I'm not getting a double bond anywhere. Did you understand? Like this is 1 bond, this is 1 bond between 2 separate hydrogen atoms. It is not between the same hydrogen atom. Did you understand or no?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Arnav, did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Shubham, here's the thing. Okay. So if I take ethene, okay. So those of you who have understood, you are welcome to leave the class. I will see you guys next week. Thank you. And those of you who want to stay and listen to this part are welcome to stay. I have no issue. So let us look at ethene. Okay. Ethene meaning 2 carbon atoms and double bond. So I have 2 carbon atoms. I'll draw that. Okay. So now between these 2 carbon atoms, the electrons are being shared between these 2 atoms. Over here, what is happening? The electrons are being shared by separate hydrogen atom. Like this is 1 bond and this is 1 bond. It is separate. So if I draw this, I'll get hydrogen, 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 4 separate bonds. Whereas over here, I'll get, so if I draw hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. So this double bond is there between 2 carbon atoms. Here is the double bond possible. Shubham, are you
No,
there?
ma'am.
Yeah. So did you understand why methane is not possible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So is methane possible?
No, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So that's it. There is no structure for methane, no structure for methane. It is impossible to have it. Okay. You need to have
Yes,
at least 2 carbon atoms in order to have a double bond and a triple bond. You need at least 2 carbon atoms. Okay. All right. See you guys next class. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask me. Otherwise, next class. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.